Okay, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. I greet you according to your time zone, and you are welcome to this program. If you are joining us back, share the video. We came in with the wrong studio, and with the wrong gadget. So I know it was going to be a problem. So I had to set another one up so that we will flow freely. Great and wonderful people of Africa, I greet you, and the great Biafrans, I greet you all over the world. Welcome to the program. If you are joining us, share the video, invite others to join. Very, very important. We need to move it. Very, very important and very short. I am going to, go straight to the point. I am not going to waste time a lot because we have a very, very pressing matter and then some important issues that I need to relate with you. It is very, very important that as you are joining, invite other people to join, because the information we have here, you don't even want your enemy to miss such information. Most especially invite your family members to hear it, because it is something that I have not seen people talking about, but it is a very dangerous stuff. And then, of course, there is something, you see the post we have here. We're going to talk about these four different posts in this picture. And very, very important, we're going to talk about the activities of one of the senator in Nigeria, the Senator Ned Nwoko. We're going to talk about him. I don't want to, of course you have seen this, I don't want to mention those things, but we're going to talk about everything that we have seen in that picture. But before then, the one you are not seeing in that picture is what I am going to talk about first, because it is very, very important. That's why I have to start with it, so that anybody who is going to engage or come across this program will see exactly what we are talking about. They will see it because it is very, very important. And that important thing, we normally like to discuss it last so that everybody will be in the program. But I have noticed that, the program gets more viewers after the program than during the program, because the algorithm of Facebook is watching to hear our terminologies and what exactly we are going to talk about before they know whether they are going to boom the program. So it is very, very important for us to know what is going on in Nigeria as we speak. Because in this type of thing, I believe that the media house is supposed to be the driving force that will be informing people that such thing is happening. But I don't see a lot of information about this thing around, public domain, especially from the media houses that are in Nigeria. That is the reason why I make it that it is actually one of the primary reason why I want to do this program this evening, this morning. Of course, we are late. According to those of you who are in Biafra land, we are late. We are late generally, the time we normally come into program, but because this program, this information is very, very necessary that you grab it. And once you grab it, you share it with your loved ones back home, because especially even those in Sahel region, we know that it is also happening. There are many, I have heard about such somewhere else, but we are going to mention it in the middle of this program where we have actually heard about such challenges. So There is an, will I call it infection? Should I call it a disease? Should I call it okay, bacteria? It is, I think the right terminology is a bacteria that is flying across Nigeria right now. And this bacteria that we are talking about, it is a bacteria that is actually, you know, I believe that the the fatality rate of this bacteria is a bit high. So that's the reason why we are going to be talking about this bacteria. We are going to be talking about this bacteria. This bacteria is called diphtheria. It is a very, very dangerous bacteria. It actually stays in your airways, and it's even very, very, dangerous, that it can, distract your breath. It can distract your breath. It has that, it has this element of distracting your breath because it stays in the airways. So it is very, very important that our people get to know about this diphtheria, so that by the time before it will get to you, you will be ready for it. Of course, you know that, Nigeria, there is a lot of, inequality, there is a lot of poverty in Nigeria. So that is the reason why it is important that you know about it, especially the poor people, those who are living in a very, very poor community, because this, bacteria is very, very close to you, maybe. So there is this bacteria. The first place I have spoken about this bacteria, few months ago. Yes, I spoke about the bacteria a few months ago when it was announced somewhere, but in Africa I spoke about it. So but this time around, it is now almost at your doorsteps in Nigeria. So that is the reason why, if you are in Nigeria, if you are in Biafra land, you hear this and hear it clearly, because it is not a good news. Now let me read something about this diphtheria outbreak. Let me read the news from Nigeria before we go to what we have to talk about today. The news from Nigeria says diphtheria outbreak spread across 105 local government areas, kills 453 children. NCDC, MPHCDA. I wish I could show you the image of such thing, but let me try. Let me try to see if I could show you. Yeah, it is right in front of you. So this is the image of such thing. I am not going to keep it here. So it is very important for our people to understand what exactly this is all about. Now let us read. Like a wildfire, the latest outbreak of diphtheria in Nigeria has spread to 105 local government areas across the country, killing 453 children as of 24th of September 2023. Just few days ago. Now, diphtheria caused by a toxin produced by the bacteria called Corynebacterium. Diphtheria is a vaccine preventable disease covered by one of the vaccines provided routinely through Nigerians' childhood immunization schedule. So they are talking about that this is actually avoidable through a vaccine process. And they talked about the vaccine that you give to your children from the childhood which is, they call that such vaccine a diphtheria or diphtheria. That is, they call it Corynebacterium diphtheria. That's exactly the type of vaccine they talk about. Maybe you are familiar, with it, or maybe you are not. So I don't know, it is very, very important as they are talking about. They say the vaccine is what is going to, prevent your child from acquiring this bacteria, and this bacteria is quite dreadful. It is very, very dangerous bacteria. So let me continue to read. Confirming the situation in its latest update on the federal government's response to the outbreak, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention (NCDC) and the National Primary Health Care Development Agency explained that 5,209 7.3% of the confirmed cases occurred among children aged 1 to 14 years old, with those aged 5 to 14 years bearing most of the brunt of the disease. The agency, in the joint statement, explained that as of September 24, 2023, there have been 11,587 reported suspected cases, out of which 7,202 were confirmed cases from 105 local government areas in 18 states, including the FCT. They are not telling us. I think they will tell us which state it is. Now, they noted that a total of 6,185 of the confirmed cases were recorded in Kano, while other states with cases include Yobe. Remember, it starts from Kano. Then you go to Yobe, which has 640 cases. Then you go to Katsina, which has 213 cases. You go to Borno, has 95,000 cases. You go to Kaduna, has 16 cases. You go to Jigawa, has 14 cases. You go to Bauchi, has 8 cases. You go to FCT, 5 states. Gombe, 5 states. Osun, 3 states. Sokoto, 3 states. 2 Cross River, Cross River, it has 2, and the Enugu 2. Niger 2, Cross River 1, Enugu 1, and Nasarawa 1, and Zamfara 1. The majority, 5,299, 73.6% of the confirmed cases occurred among children aged 14 years, with those aged 5 to 14. Age 1 to 14, with those aged 5 to 14 years bearing most of the brunt of the disease. So far, a total 453 deaths have occurred in confirmed cases, giving a case fatality or rate of 6.3%. They noted it is actually very fast in killing. It is actually killing a lot. If it is 6.3% of the confirmed cases died. So now, so far, a total of 43 deaths have occurred in confirmed cases, giving a case fatality of 6.3%, they noted. They further noted that the escalation of the outbreak and finding that 80% of confirmed cases in the ongoing outbreak were unvaccinated The coordinating Minister of Health, Professor Muhammad Ali Pat, has set a national emergency task team to chair by the Executive Director of NPHCDA and the Director General of NCDC for higher level coordination of outbreak response. The team will also ensure optimal collaboration of all relevant health stakeholders in the fight. Other prominent members of this task force include Director of Public Health, public health representatives from the Federal Ministry of Information, the World Health Organization (WHO), the United Nations Children's Funds, UNICEF, USCDC, USAID, and Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, other non-governmental organization and developmental partner. They further noted a historical gap in vaccination coverage was the driver of the outbreak, given the most affected age group of 5 to 14 years old, and the result of the nationwide diphtheria immunity survey that shows only 42% of children under 15 years old are fully protected from the diphtheria. So this is actually, this is basically against children. It is basically against children, just like COVID was against adults. So this time around, the one against children is here with you, is here with us. So now this one against children, it says that it is actually affecting most of those who were not vaccinated with the vaccines that is called almost a diphtheria. And it talks about where the cases are reported. And where the cases are reported is something that is very, very problematic, because this is part of the reason why when we talk about the northern Nigeria, we say that their life matters as well. The life of the people in the northern Nigeria matters as well, because when you look at this outbreak, it is prevalent in northern Nigeria. It is few cases in the east and the west. It is not even up to minus 0% or will I say, it is not even up to minus. It doesn't, in fact, it is very, very low in those areas. Let us now talk about these areas in the northern Nigeria. How did it get there? Why is diphtheria actually so much in the northern Nigeria? I think I have the answer to it. The answer is that there are many displacement in the northern Nigeria. There are many displacements in the northern Nigeria where the terrorists have displaced so many people from their homes, and this displacement, you find people living in a places that is not suitable for their health or suitable for human habitation. So that is what exactly that is going to promote this outbreak, that is going to make this outbreak to spread like a wildfire. Because if you look at the many places in the northern Nigeria, Fulani terrorists will and the other which is called the bandit, Fulani terrorists, which is called the bandit, because we know that Boko Haram only goes to a particular place where they find but probably mineral resources, raw material. So that's where, some of these Boko Haram and ISWAP, they make sure they occupy and stay there, not moving. So Fulani terrorists decided that they will go into the northern Nigeria in their different states. They will they take over the communities and people run for their lives. You find these people staying in this, area that is not even good for human habitation. Not only staying in those areas, they are not staying in a proper, building. They are staying, some people build a bako there and they are staying there. Some people build a shack and they are staying there. So it is something that we need to understand. It is a key driver of this diphtheria in the northern Nigeria, because they are not living a standard of life that is good or that is okay for human habitation. They are not able to, malnutrition becomes the order of the day, because even the government, who's supposed to take care of these people, who's supposed to make sure that these people are not displaced, giving them the adequate security that they deserve, this government is not doing what it's supposed to do. Then this is as a result of poor lifestyle, because of poverty driven poor lifestyle across the northern Nigeria, and the running from the Fulani terrorists, which is the reason why these people are having the highest number of infected cases of diphtheria. Because when we talk about here that these people does not have a lot of people speaking on their behalf, and even if they do, those speaking on their behalf, it is difficult. It looks like they are being suppressed so that their voices may not be heard. That is exactly what it means, because these things, it is as a result of poor health, not even poor health, I think poor environment that result to diphtheria. It is more prevalent in those areas, in those poor communities where people are feeding from hand to mouth, where people does not have adequate water supply, where people does not even have enough to keep up to the hygiene. But because they have nobody to speak on their behalf, some of these people that we are talking about, some of them are, most of them are the Hausa people from the north. Most of them are Hausa people from the north. And some of them are even the Fulanis. The Fulanis that have blended in with Hausa people. So, some of them are those who are being oppressed in the northern Nigeria by their own people. They are condoning it. Hausas are condoning it because they are so scared to speak. Hausas cannot rise up to defend their land from this menace attack, of terrorists. They are running away and placing the life of their, children in danger because Fulani overwhelmed them. That is exactly what we are seeing here. And when we talk about, most of the time, they call it ethnicity stigmatization. We are not doing it. It is not what we are doing. We are facing reality. These people we are talking about, they are known for, moving cattle from places to places with AK-47. They are wanderers. They are known for jihad. They are known for Wahhabism. These are the people that, when they come to you, it's either they conquer you to rule over you because they believe they are after Muhammad. The level of their fanaticism in this religious belief, on their own belief system, it is actually too much. So that is the reason why you find them doing what they are doing. They are not indigenous people. They are not. As they are chasing them from Mali, as they are chasing them from Burkina Faso, as they are chasing them from Guinea Conakry, as they are chasing them from Niger Republic, they are making their way into Nigeria. That is the reason why they are lobbying with the whole, with Britain. They are lobbying with Britain to see if Britain will get them protected. But it is very, very necessary for you to understand that there is no way Britain will push a propaganda that will get them to be protected in all these areas where they are terrorizing. They are really terrorizing areas. And propaganda does not sell anymore. Propaganda does not market anymore, because there is media to debunk any lies being filtered. So now it is very, very important whether they are reviewing, just like we read a few days ago, that they are reviewing the laws, or they are reviewing the policy of the United Nations over the Fulanis. As they are reviewing the policy of the United Nations to see how they will give them more incentive. So it is very, very important for us to know that Fulanis are the ones that are being used to oppress our people. Fulanis are being used to oppress our people. These people, whatever they are doing it for the sake of coming into your land and taking it over for the habitation, for their own people to come in and inhabit the land. That is exactly what the Fulanis are doing. That is their plan. They don't care about what you have on the, under the soil. They don't care about it. What they care about is to take over the place and do their Wahhabism and do their cattle rearing, do their cattle moving. That's the only thing they care about. And Britain and other, big world, having seen such, they decided they will use these people when they are actually on the same mission. They use you to get what you want, while you use us to get what you want, which is to take over the lands in these places and find a place for your people. And we will actually use you to get what we want, which is exploiting the resources from these places. So it becomes it becomes a pack of, these people who are trying all their best to exploit the people, the indigenous people. It becomes problematic, especially when people are not able to decode what exactly is going on. Fulanis are not actually ready for a development. They are not ready for development. These people, the only one of this, the most Fulanis, they don't attend Western education. They do not attend Western education. Or formal education. They don't attend formal education. So they are practicing, nomadic education. They have this nomadic education. And with their nomadic education, it will take you nowhere. It is going to take you nowhere as a nation if you decide to live with them. Because this nomadic education, it is a setback to human development. A serious setback to human development. And I am in no way saying that Western education is more important or more better. But when you look at this formal, this education, system that we are using, At least if it doesn't get you anything, it gets you informed. If it doesn't, make you to achieve anything, it makes you to be informed. It keeps you informed. But these guys they don't care about being informed. They don't care about, development. All they care about is Wahhabism, jihadism, conquest. And they are the real people who are called the wanderers. They wander from places to places. Whichever place they go, they want to seize that place. So, what is happening? They are the people who contributed all these, lifestyle people decide to start living in the northern Nigeria, poverty lifestyle. Those who were even able to have at least a good home, even if it is not a sophisticated home, they were able to build themselves a good home that is good for human habitation. But at the end of the day, these people took it away from them because they want to conquer their community, because they want to take over their community. They decide to take it away from them. That these people might, go into IDP camps. IDP camps is an empty land where people will be able to put up any structure that they will be, emergency structure, such as bako or shacks. You put them there, and they will be living there. Then their children will be, getting bacteria because of the environment. There is no good water supply. There is no incentive from the government that will enable these people to survive. These same people are the ones who are contracting this type of diseases or bacteria called diphtheria, and they're now spreading it out because they will meet each other. From there, they will even go to the city. From there, they are spreading it. Before you will know it, it becomes epidemic. And it will be contained where it is. So the government who is saying that they are putting a contingency plan to make sure that they curb the spread of this virus, or they say that they are doing tracing and tracking and tracing, all these things are fallacy. Because if you want to do something, first of all, elevate people from poverty. Poverty is the key driver to all these bacteria. If they cannot elevate people from poverty, they are doing nothing. And if they decide to find out that it is only the bacteria that affect the poor people or poor communities, they wouldn't care less. They would not care less. Because what is going on there is Nigeria happening to Nigerians. Nigeria happening to Nigerians. The biggest economy in Africa. The biggest economy in Africa that cannot fight terrorism. That is in one or two states in the northern Nigeria. They cannot fight it. But they have enough military to go and kill people easily in Biafra land. So what exactly is going on in the north? Does it mean there has been an arrangement by the previous administration that anything that will happen in the north, Fulani must take over that land, even if they don't manage to take over the rest part of those, region in Nigeria? They must take the northern Nigeria. So that is the reason why they are subjecting people to inhuman treatment, subjecting people to poverty, abject poverty, subjecting people to death. And at the end of the day, it does not matter. No one cares. Most of the time, they will tell you that there are British military in the sub-Saharan, or French military in the sub-Saharan, to stop the movement of terrorists. Because when they name these terrorists, when they give them different names, we will not be able to fathom where are these terrorists coming from. Especially when they tell you ISIS in West Africa, you will not be able to fathom who are these ISIS in West Africa. When they tell you the Boko Haram, you will not be able to fathom who are these Boko Haram. Who are they? All Fulanis. Because this Boko Haram, they believe their first protest was against the Western education. Their first protest was against the Western education, because before they went into full-blown terrorism. And today it is happening, it is haunting Nigeria and the indigenous people in Nigeria. As it is haunting them, they don't have a voice to speak, because they are subjugated to the point that they do not have right to speak. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a key example to it. He is a key example to it. When you speak, you become the enemy to the government. When you speak, they will say, bring you to be killed. So now, having seen all these activities of these people, you find out that whether they tell you Al-Qaeda from Maghreb, you will find these people called Fulani amongst them. Whether they tell you ISIS in West Africa, it is more driven by the Fulanis. When they tell you headers, it is Fulanis. Mieti Allah, Fulanis. So when you see these people, you ask yourself, why are they not settled in Nigeria like every other ethnic group? They don't want to settle like every other ethnic group because they want to overwhelm the country and take over the country. That's what they want. And Britain promised that to them. That was the promise of Britain to them. Because they are delivering their own path to Britain. Because of they take over, they have access to resources coming out from the land of Nigeria. That's what it is. But Britain is not delivering the ones they want. You know why? Because we people have woken others up. Because we have woken up and we have woken others up. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu started talking about it. It is part of the reason why Britain decided that no, the best we can do for you, when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is out of Britain, we will assist you to go and get him, so that you keep him quiet from exposing activities of you guys, to see if you guys will do your own proposal again and to see if it is going to work. That is the reason why they are lobbying across Nigeria as well, to see if they will establish Ruga, settlement across Nigeria. Why? They know that if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was out there, even those such lobbying will not even take place, talk more of, because he will expose it before it takes place. So that's exactly the reason why. Had it been, we don't have any problem with any human being that is that is around us. But what we have problem with is this human being, if they reject human development. If they reject human development, we have problem with them. These people, they have rejected human development. Let me tell you the reason why they have rejected human development. And I am not trying to be prejudiced against these people, or being, or fostering ethnic stigmatization, but this is the reality of the fact that these guys, they are the people in charge of Nigeria in the last 64 years. They have not developed anything in Nigeria. They have not even developed themselves. So what exactly do you think these type of people are going to give you if they cannot develop themselves? If they cannot use the opportunity of being in charge of this biggest economy in Africa? Being in charge of this, they were not able to utilize what they are stealing from this economy to use it and even enrich their people, empower their people. They were not able to do it. How then do you think that these people that cannot empower their own people, that will allow their own people to go to IDP camps, are going to do to you? What do you think they are going to give you? Diphtheria. That is what they are going to give you. Killing, kidnapping of students, bring back our girls. That is what they will continue to give to you, because you cannot learn from your mistakes. You don't learn your lessons. That is the reason why they will continue doing it. And when you talk to Britain, they will start pushing in the United Nations, saying it is ethnicity stigmatization. It is not. They know very well that what we are talking about is the pure truth. We're not stigmatizing anybody. We know we are all human, but humans need to live like human, not like animals. If these people are not able to blend in a community where they come in, blend in and live like human, not live like animal, which they move from places to places, they will not have a good home. They will reside in the bushes. In the 21st century, why would a person decide to live in a bush? In the middle of a forest. They will live there. They will have their AK-47. Before you know it, you will find them bringing their own people, smuggling their people with weapon, What do you call this? Is that ethnic stigmatization? If it is ethnic stigmatization, go to Biafra land today. Go to where Fulanis are. Do you see any reasonable building owned by Fulani in Biafra land? Any brick building or block building or cemented building owned by Fulani in Biafra land? No. Why do you not see such? Because Fulani are not willing to come there to develop the place. They want to come there to stay in the bush, attack people from, do guerrilla warfare on the people from inside the bush in order to conquer this area. Then it will be like this area is no-go zone. You cannot go that place because Fulani have taken over that place. Any day you go there, you will be brought back in a body bag. So that is exactly how it is being told. From there, they will continue to take over places to places. By the time you will know it, they will overwhelm you. So it is not ethnic stigmatization. This is justice. This is exposition on crime and inhuman. We cannot harbor that because we can't breathe. So that is the reason why we say, if you are still a believer of one Nigeria, believe you me, you lack development. You are actually worse than Fulani. Because they know they are holding your development. It will never develop. Because Nigeria, you see, is a franchise of Britain. that is given unto the hands of the Fulanis to manage for them while they are managing it, so that it will enable them to bring in their people from across the Sahel region to unite them in Nigeria. That was exactly the plan of Buhari. That was the reason why there was a proposal to establish Ruga settlement across the board. And at the end of the day, you find people talking about why aren't they going through that route of animal husbandry. They refuse because they want Ruga settlement, the one that is informal, the one that will be, the one that will be able to enable them to operate from unknown destination, unknown location, so that they will be taking you out one after the other. That is where we find it very problematic. Buhari failed to achieve that, and all because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu informed all of us. Because had it been Mazen Nnamdi Kanu never informed you, you will not see that Fulani is all over you. When you look around, you will see Fulani. They are pretending to be the angels of light. That is the reason why they were almost taken over in Yoruba land. If not the killing of this well-known man's daughter, do you think that Yoruba people will wake up from their slumber? Even when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was warning them, telling them every day, this is what the plans of these people. The only way we can separate ourselves from these people is to disintegrate Nigeria that is set up by Britain in 1914, lying to the people in the south that you are going to be used, lying to the, telling the people in the north that the south is going to solve your budget deficit, especially the eastern part of the south. It's going to solve your budget deficit because they told you you don't have resources. They told you you have nothing. They told you you have budget deficit in the north. And Hausa people and of course their Fulani master agreed without knowing that there is a lot of resources in the north. Because if not anything, the northern Nigeria this time around, they noticed they had Californium. We may talk about uranium all this while, but you do not know where they exploit that uranium, that all of them, they have nuclear weapon in thousands. They have in hundreds, or America have in thousands. Where did they exploit all this uranium from? From the Sahel region of Africa, mostly. And it is actually given to them without payment. They are solving your budget deficit. That's why they have to bring the ones that own the oil. And they have to bring them along so that you will manage them. So that they will not be the one in charge of that oil that they own. That's what results to the amalgamation. While you are busy managing the people that owns the oil, that that is actually needed across the board. Now we are busy taking those secret resources that you might not, those secret resources that you don't know what they are used for, but they are the resources that makes them powerful. Uranium is having a nuclear plant is because you have uranium. Uranium is the petrol that power all this nuclear stuff. Uranium is the petrol that powers nuclear weapon, nuclear energy. It is uranium. So, you didn't know you had this all this while. When Niger realized immediately what they have. They decided, no, we are going to get, this nuclear fuel. They are going to get it, hike the price. The price is, there is a price hike on the uranium today because every other person is as well waking up. The price is still going to go up, especially if uranium is needed for consumption in Africa. The price will start going up whenever you see African nations signing a nuclear deal. Uranium price will start also going up as well. Now I want you to know that everything that we possess that is a raw material, it has never helped us to build or manufacture anything. It does not mean that we do not have the skills. It does not mean that we do not have what it takes. But we do not have a political will. Because politics that they have imposed on you, it is not the type of politics that is actually, palatable to you. That is the reason why, among everything, you are not going to move forward, because Nigeria is a projection. It is projected, and how it is going to function, it is already projected. And the same trajectory is where it is going. And that is the reason why it is important for us to get it right. We must go back to the drawing board, pre-colonialism. If we cannot go there, we aren't going anywhere. And going back to the drawing board, pre-colonialism, it is the disintegration of this structure called Nigeria. The amalgamation and the mixture of oil and water. If you don't spill that oil and water, you will never get it right. You must spill that oil and water so that both of them will find their own origin. And they are going to be, they are going to be, uniting with each other. They are going to be uniting with each other. Water goes their way, oil goes its way. Then oil will work with oil, water works with water. Because they are not soluble to each other. So if we are going to get it right, that is where everybody that call themselves a reasonable person need to start thinking. Because when you go to this, out there, they will be telling you human resources. Forget human resources. You don't know the value of human resources. So forget it. Stop using it as an excuse. You don't know the value of human resources. So why are you using it as an excuse? Human resources. You gather the biggest nation in Africa, and poverty becomes they created an institution called poverty inside this biggest nation. Why? So that is it. For you to get it right, you must disintegrate Nigeria. For you to get it right, you should listen to what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said. You should go back to see the reason why there was a war in 1967. Because the aftermath of that war still lingers. Because you do not have spiritualism, African spiritualism anymore. That is the reason why you are doing as you please, because you do not understand African spiritualism. You don't know that things lingers and it will always hinder you without you knowing, because there is something called Christianity, and they tell you in Christianity it is all about forgiveness. No. What are you going to forgive? You forgive people who did something to you without knowing. Not people who are deliberately doing something to you and keep on telling you maybe. They don't even tell you sorry. They know they are dealing with you. They don't care. If you rise up to talk, they beat you up. They suppress you not to cry even. So that's the way it is. You cannot actually be adaptive to such situation. Even though they tell you that the evolution of human being is being able to adapt. Adaptability is the evolution of human being, or characteristics of human being rather. It is adaptation. Now, adaptation cannot make a human being not to try new things, because it is part of adaptation. Trying new things and adapting, to it. That is part of adaptation. So you cannot adapt in things that is not working. Poverty. You cannot adapt to poverty. No one adapts to poverty. Except if your mind or your brain fact is not functional. That is the only time you will say, no, let us adapt to we are adapting by it. Or if you can't beat them, you join them. That slogan should be abolished in Africa. Because that's what makes all our children. They are like, all our young people today, makes our young people, and now transferring it to their children to the extent that it keeps them brain dead. Their brain is not vibrant like young people. Their brain is not vibrant like, the way it should be, because they are, making peace. They were told that if you cannot beat them, you join them. And the same slogan is disturbing our politicians in the political space. They will tell you, you cannot beat the system, you join the system. Was it not human being that created the system? So why aren't you going to, do this, something? If you cannot beat the system, why don't you create your own system, so that you will not be fighting to beat the system they created? You have to create your own and work with your own creation. That becomes the setback in Africa. They are not innovative. They don't want to actually, do something new. They are so scared of change. So being scared of change makes you now to make peace with your boogeyman. And you tell me if you cannot beat them, you join them. You are a coward. A serious one. And we Biafrans, we are not coward. That is the reason why we will not stop. We are not going anywhere until we restore our freedom. It doesn't matter what it takes us to restore our freedom. We are going to restore our freedom. Regardless of whatever they will throw at us, we are going to restore it. Because they are throwing many things at us. They have set up different, splintered different groups in order to say, when they do their own evil, they will say it is IPOB. And everything this group is doing are the things that is going to entice our people. That is the reason why when you look at the activities of such groups today, sometimes they will go and bring a video. Because what they are looking for approval. They are looking for approval from our people. Because of the approval they are looking for, they will start bringing up different videos. They will bring out this, they will bring out that, use it to sell their lies, use it to sell a narrative, use it to impoverish our people. There was a video I posted on my page. That video, I posted it on my page yesterday. It is a video where people were enforcing sit at home. Or, video where people were, I don't know what, I believe they were enforcing sit at home. That's why I said if it is an enforcement of sit at home in this video. But that video, the intention of me bringing it there, I wanted them to feel what it means to deceive other people. That was exactly my intention of bringing such video. It is playing on my page. If you go there, I say those enforcing sit at home. Because whenever they want to start looking for where they will, deceive people to ask them for money, they will start bringing out so many nonsense into the public domain, replaying it. Even the ones that played in 1967, they will repair it, bring it out, to use it to entice our people. Because our people, all you looking for is violence against Nigeria. Forgetting that when you throw a stone inside a marketplace, it might fall on your mother, or it might fall on your siblings. That is what you people are forgetting, because you leave your mind behind. You leave your brain behind before you mostly come to the online to listen to some programs. They will go and start digging out those videos, digging them out, replaying it, using them to sell a narrative, to market their money begging. So yesterday they brought that video. One of these groups brought this video and playing it, and having seen their activities in few days ago, where they were, there was a scene where they killed military, which I don't know who they killed there in the military uniform. There was a scene, whether it is Asaredo Kubo boys or their own, fellow army in the, of course, they call themselves army also. So after that, they are setting up. When we proposed that these people said ESN should not carry arm anymore, the next thing they did, they went and show you a picture of a dead person, telling you it is a confirmed Fulani. Confirmed Fulani, see Ogu, see this thing, confirmed Fulani. What is the use? What exactly is the use? Who are you looking for approval from? Who do you need to entice? Do you entice people with killing other people? No. If you know you are killing this enemy, kill them. Do your own things. You don't need to bring it to the public. Why are you bringing it to people to be traumatized or what? Because you claim you are killing terrorists. Whether it's terrorist or not. Why are you bringing it to us? Because you want to entice people. And you are bringing it using the name of other people. Instead of using the name of those who is sending you, you are using the name of other people. And when you do all this rubbish you people do, you use the name of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. After using the name of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, you will still now insult the structure of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Command Mazen Nnamdi Kanu initiative on setting up security. Command them not to carry firearm. So when you people are doing all this, you believe that you will entice people, fools, who does not know what you people are doing, is placing the life of their loved ones that is at home in danger. Because some of them, they will be in Europe. How can you be giving people, making people in Biafra land to be suffering? They cannot, some of them cannot even eat without selling pure water in a day. You were suffering them. So if somebody did not tell you, you will not know that you are suffering your own people. Look at Hope Uzodinma. In Imo State, there is a pipe, there is oil wells there. Nobody go to touch it. Which is the same thing that Nigeria is exploring. In the coastal region, no one is enforcing sit at home, but it is only in Igbo land that people were enforcing sit at home. Yet all these areas are Biafrans. Don't you have brain to tell yourself exactly what is going on? Don't you have brain to tell yourself what is going on? To overwhelm those who are in the forefront, driving for freedom. Because they know if they overwhelm us, we will no longer be able to call our brothers in the coast. The way Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was motivating them. Because some of them need motivation before it will happen. Because some of them are not informed. That's why we need to inform them. You leave them behind. This your Biafra, and this you're dealing with in Nigeria is only from your own land. And you call yourself a sensible person. You are a fool. You are a coward. So since they started seeing, doing what they are doing, bringing out even old big videos to use it to scare people, to tell them that the sit at home is still standing, so that people will continue sit at home on Monday, because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said no. People started going to their business places. They started actually to disobey Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. They are testing their, they are actually trying to test their popularity. That's why they bring out such video. They believe if they bring it out, that to brainwash you, even if it's an old video, they brought it to brainwash you. I now took it to make you, to show you that is bringing such video, that we can use it somehow, to use it to counter that narrative that warrants you to bring that video out. That is the reason why I brought that video, and all of them ran into the comment section confessing. They were the ones now confessing by themselves. When they were the ones, within 1 hour they posted that video. It has already reached 50,000 people. Whoever that posted that video, they gave it to one of the bloggers to post that video. It has already reached 50,000 people. And these 50,000, if they are the real viewers, they are being brainwashed. Our army are everywhere. Once they change clothes, go any other place, it will look like they are more than 100, because they will change clothes to go this. They want to start showing them they have different color of army, when they have nothing. That is exactly what they are trying to do. And when you look at it, when you actually return the favor, they become so mad. Go there, you go to the comment section, you hear what they are confessing. It is an old video. But it was not an old video when you took it out to use it to manipulate people, in order so that when you solicit for fund, they will give you. That's exactly what you people are up to. We know very well. Whenever you begin to see all this type of insecurity in our land, you will expect people asking for funds. You will expect people asking for funds, because they need approval. They need to show you advert. Once the fund is given, people will be going about their businesses. Once the fund is actually finished, you will find them acting another movie. That's exactly what these people are doing. Somebody is serving the zoo without knowing they are serving the zoo. And a lot of you are serving the zoo without knowing that you are serving the zoo, because you believe that all that glitters are gold. Don't use emotion. Emotion is a problem that we have as black people, being so emotional. If we are rational thinkers, we are supposed to have gone far very many years ago. But because we are emotional thinkers, that is the reason why, even in 1967, some people decided to start saying, you have led us in unprepared war. That's what they told Ojukwu. But they were same the one, let's go to war. Let's go to war. They are the same people who were pushing Ojukwu, let's go to war, let's go to war. They are the same people who will come out and say, you have led us to unprepared war. Is that not idiocy? And that is exactly ama. Nwata nụọ ọgụ egboro egbo si na ọgụ ana ọtọka. Ọkwa ọgụ egboro egbo unu na anụ na Biafra land. Unu efile na ọgụ na atọ ụtọ. Very soon ọ ga-akpọtụ. Very, very soon ọ ga-akpọtụ. All these things that these people are doing, all of them, I have spoken to so many of them, the only thing you will find out is that these people are not well informed. And you see, there were some of them I was engaging the other day, telling them that what you are doing is inviting the killer squad of Asare Dokubo in military uniform and some Fulani terrorists in military uniform into Biafra land with, they call it, joint tax team, to go and kill Biafrans and burn people's houses. I told them, as much as many of you have houses in Biafra land, some of you have, a good duplex, but you are not staying there yet. One day Fulani will, bring themselves, their army. It will be your own house it is going to touch. Then you will come and say, that day, that is the same day you are going to wake up to see that when you are throwing a stone inside a marketplace, it will fall on your own head or your mother's head. That is something that these people does not understand, because they are foolish. They don't use their brain. They use their ears to think. Now, you look at this, how confused these people are. I want you to listen to this video that is coming from one of these people. Listen to the video that is coming from one of these people. They use their brain for something I don't know. Listen.
One. Now the question is, between Simon Ekpa and the leadership of IPOB, the DOS, who is or who can be described as a career freedom fighter? The DOS has no monetized page. The DOS does not have membership page. The DOS does not broadcast on YouTube where they are being paid. The DOS has no private accounts that they have scammed or cloned for people to pay in ESM funds. Between Simon Ekpa and the DOS, who are the career freedom fighters? Those of you that cannot ask questions, you will continue to be scammed. Simon Ekpa is a scammer 101.
You see, this is a confession from one of them. Confession from one of them. And this confession, immediately when they did this confession, you find out at the end of the day, it's either that some of them will be lured back and start now giving them money, knowing that some of them also need money, so that they will no longer get, to misbehave. But you see the fact that this young man stated here, no matter what happens in this life, the fact that he stated here, what you have learned from this guy, you cannot unlearn it. You can never unlearn it again. Yet, if this man come tomorrow and start telling you otherwise, you will forget this. Listen.
I'll be dropping it as it comes. One. Now the question is, between Simon Ekpa and the leadership of IPOB, the DOS, who is or who can be described as a career freedom fighter? The DOS has no monetized page. The DOS does not have membership page. The DOS does not broadcast on YouTube where they are being paid. The DOS has no private accounts that they have scammed or cloned for people to pay in ESM funds. Between Simon Ekpa and the DOS, who are the career freedom fighters? Those of you that cannot ask questions, you will continue to be scammed. Simon Ekpa is a scammer 101. I'll be dropping it as it comes. I'll be dropping it as it comes.
So this is exactly what, this, for you to see how these people are, for you to see how these people are. They know the truth, but once you call them and start giving them small change, the truth now becomes a lie to them. That has been how they are, because some of them came into the struggle for what they will benefit from the struggle and not what they are going to give the struggle. That is exactly the reason why some of them, you see, are doing what they are doing. But believe me, all these people that are doing it and their supporters, one way or the other, one day it will affect them. Because they do not want Mazen Nnamdi Kanu out. All they are looking for, it is to make sure that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is prolonged in that place where he is. They believe he will lose relevance. And secondly, while he is there, people are enriching themselves, bringing up different set of shenanigans. You know, some people say that they did opening ceremony of their rubbish in the US. They said, you ask yourself, all those rubbish they establish, it is easy for you to go and rent a place. What do you want to do in that building? Or in that, maybe it is a commercial, apartment or commercial building. You rent it. You say you want to establish an office there. You want to establish an office there. It is a private building. It is not government-owned building in the United States. So whether you establish whatever you establish there, it doesn't concern the government or anybody. As long as you are not doing illegal activities there, such as consultation to exploit people, or you are not doing anything, planning terrorism in that place, it does not concern the government. So when they tell you they have established an office, that Mecca Livingstone went there, it didn't work, all this, it was because of that they run to establish such thing, so that they will show you that they are doing something when they are doing nothing. It is only in the 5 states, Igbo-speaking Biafra, while there are more than 13 states or more than 12 states of Biafra land. Igbo-speaking Biafra is where their atrocities are happening, where they will claim they will hurt Nigeria economy. Only in 5 states where there is no inside these 5 states there is no embassy. There is no embassy. There is no seaport. There is no international airport. There is no government established companies. There is none. It is only private-owned businesses. Private-owned businesses and the people who do menial jobs to survive. Barrow pushers, pure water sellers, street vendors. Those are the people who you find in those areas, or individual businesses. And you will always shut it down, intimidating people not to access their business. You will tell us you are hurting Nigeria. In Imo State, you do the same. When the oil producing area, they are freely doing their own stuff in Imo State. But you claim we are hurting Nigeria. Don't you know we are hurting Nigeria? That is the slogan of those who mokoko. Don't you know we are hurting Nigeria? Nigeria that does not care about your businesses in the East. They wouldn't even mind if you shut it down for 5 years. When they are already, controlling you, trying to impoverish you, so that you do not have access to development. So when you are crouching yourselves by yourselves, it makes it easy for the Fulani projected system to work on you through Britain. British projected system through Fulani to continue working on you. What they need is there is no a lot of agricultural produce that is coming out from Biafra land. Agriculture is northern based. The only thing that comes from Biafra land they want the most is the oil. So if you cannot stop the oil, so you are not doing anything. and those oil are mostly some in the coastal region and it's also in the hinterland. That's why those areas there are no sit at home there. You are suffering ordinary people telling us you are suffering politicians. You are not suffering politicians, you are suffering your people. So that is what they have created to use it to make sure that IPOB does not proceed with what we are looking for. They do not proceed with what we are looking for. And what you are seeing around Imo State, Hope Uzodinma is aware of it, because it's a way to make sure they scare people off, because they know you are not going to vote for him. So since they know you cannot vote for him, they will scare you off. On that day of election, you will not come out. The incumbent government will still win. That's exactly what the plan is. These are two different set of people. If you hear people saying that Ohanes and Igbo want to visit them, you ask yourself, they claim that Ohanes and Igbo want to visit them. Uranium want to visit them. And they rejected. Why would they not be visited by Ohanes and some politicians? Because they are, part of. Do you want to join our group? This is our group. How do you join our group? Because that is what all these politicians are trying to do. We can get you to our group. Because some of them, they know that, the insecurity in our land, politicians, it is a political insecurity. If you are on the side of opposition might use us to truncate your activities. So that's why some of them want to go and visit these criminals that are terrorizing places, claiming they are fighting for your freedom. That is something some of you does not understand. There is another video which I want to show you. Let me show you this video for you to see what these people, the way they are rolling, the way they are moving and deceiving people all over the place. Let me see if I will. Yeah, I believe I can. It will come to the screen. Just one moment. I want you to see this video. I don't know if you see this. What you are seeing here, it is them bringing a video of where Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's, inside Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's compound, where people were gathered in Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's compound, and they decided to put the image of this their so-called Biafra army. They put it there so that they will continue to claim that people are solidly behind them, when we know that they are only in the media. The people supporting these people are only in the media and some criminals on the ground. That's only the people that are supporting these people. Only in the media. Because if you look at this, they are trying all their best to show you, to try to make the world believe there are people supporting them. This was inside Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's compound when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu came back in 2015. That was the video. They decided to zoom the video. They decided to edit it, put the video image of this image of this thing, these people carrying gun in Biafra land for them. Look at it properly. Have you seen it? They put the image of those carrying gun for them in Biafra land. And what they have learned now is that their videos comes with they now, you know what these people they have learned? They have learned that they will place their videos in copyright. That's what they've started doing. They are copyrighting their videos. That's exactly what they do. You ask yourself, what is the reason why? Because they don't want us to expose their atrocities anymore. Yesterday, immediately I threw up a video of that video. Somebody reported it. It becomes a copyright. They copyright straight a video, which they say that it is not a new video, but they brought it and they were sharing it. So the same thing is applicable to this video you see. They go and they are good with screen, what you call Photoshop. They Photoshop that video. They remove the background where it will show Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. They now, where it is going to show Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, they block it with their so-called Liberation Army. That's what they do, to use it to make people believe that there are people following. It is only in the media, those ranting in your comment section. That is only where you find the followers of these people. That is created by, by Western agenda. It's only in the media. For in case if you don't know. So all these adverts they are playing, both to be with the shooting of the military, both with the bringing old video and emerging videos with this, which one you saw now, all of them, it is because they are going to beg you for money soon. That's it. And you will say, I told you. They are going to beg you for money soon. So, now, let us look at what we have for the rest of the day. Now, I want you to know that these people, they have not done anything significant to this struggle. They have not done anything that is going to help this struggle to thrive. The only thing they keep doing, it is all about trying all their best to lie to people. They told you no flight zone because they have Biafra National Army or Biafra National Guard, those people in the bush with laptop, with the Biafra flag. They saw those things these people, created. It is quite creative. It is creative. I wouldn't call it rubbish. It is creative. When it was introduced to them, they tell you no flight zone because they believe that such thing is going to now deceive you because they are buying. They even believe it is indeed no flight zone. It is a rocket launchers or ballistic missile. So I don't know what exactly they believe that made them to start telling you no flight zone. They will declare no flight zone in Biafra land. Today, I can't balugokwe those people because all of them started working with this set of individuals. I can't balukwala fao. So that is exactly what you will see, you will see when these people are actually, what these people are doing. That's what you see around their doings. If you continue to follow this, Western agenda to destabilize our people, our land, to make people give up on the quest for their freedom. I know our people are resilient. The reason why I don't talk mostly about these people, it is because their followers is only in social media. Plus the ones they are setting up just to respond to comments. That is where their followers is. They are doing massive attack, massive defense in social media. Other than that, there is no other place. That's why they are setting up a fake protest. If I take this protest now and say they are setting it up for fake, you see them coming to social comment section now confessing exactly what this thing is all about. That's what they do. If I take this same thing they have concocted, post it on my page, speak about it and post it, you'll find somebody coming to confess what it is all about, where it came from. That is one thing you see these people are doing. You cannot use lie to fight lie. You cannot use lie to fight for freedom. Rather, it does not work. So let us look into what we have. That is actually a digression. Let me remove one monkey from my screen. That is actually a digression. Are you aware of the price of the bag of cement today? You know, this news said that the bag of cement is going to 9,000. The bag of cement is going to 9,000. Are you aware of that new phenomenon? A bag of cement is going to 9,000. Yet there are many cement companies in Nigeria. Bag of cement. Now, if these things are skyrocketing, petrol going high, dollar rates going high, cement going high, food going high, everything is going high under the new administration. When you ask the new administration, they are taking advice from the people from the Western world. And when they are taking these advices, they will tell you implementation of monetary policy. It is going to be better in future. But how is it going to be better in a society? In a society that is not planned well. In a society there is no infrastructural development. There is no system. There is no system, among others, that govern monetary system, that governs the food prices, that control the importation, that controls there is no system. So how will this automatically come and work for you? Monetary policy. How is it going to work for you? So that you will go and take loan and get the country to be overly indebted. Because that is what they are building. In case if you are not aware what this administration is building, it is not building for you to enjoy in future. They are building their profile in order to attract more funds from IMF, because the previous administration destroyed their profile, put them in debt. They become overly indebted, so they cannot attract more funds until they decide to clean their profile, build their profile. That is why they are going through a monetary policy, so that they will be able to attract more loans. In case if you don't know. Because I know some of you who are overly educated will believe that everything will be settled, especially those so-called economics. You will tell me that everything will be settled in few months or in few years. We are going to reap the benefit in few years. Have you ever seen something that go high in Nigeria coming down? That is something I want to ask you. Go to the history of Nigeria. Is there anything that goes high that later all of a sudden goes down? It does not happen. Inflation goes up, it doesn't go down. It stays there. Another administration comes, it goes more higher. The petrol price goes high. The only thing that normally comes a little bit down, it was petrol price, because they were manipulating it when they pay the so-called subsidy. It brings it a bit down. The time they don't pay it, it goes high. So now, when you see that they are claiming that they are introducing monetary policy, it is not for your business. It is not going to favor you. All these things that their prices are going up in the name of monetary policy, which is extra taxation or indirect tax, it is not going to improve your economy. It is going to improve your, borrowing. It is going to improve your access to borrowing. That is what most of us don't understand. It is true that some of you who are economists, who see the trajectories of how they are implementing it, will believe I don't blame you if you believe it is going to help the country. Because you believe it because you have no experience of how these things are actually going. You are making your prediction based on your area of studies. You are not making the prediction based on the information acquired as per what is the primary purpose of this same government from doing this they are doing. Do you know their primary purpose? It is to enable them to go into IMF, World Bank, Development Bank to, source for more borrowing, keeping the nation overly indebted. So there is nothing that goes up that, normally come down. There is nothing. You cannot talk about petrol because petrol is a commodity that people trade. It goes down, it fluctuates. So when you talk about all these food prices, you talk about building materials such as cement that we are talking about, it's going to go to 9K. 9K. If cement goes to 9K, because they know that the most people that are building houses, they are your people. And they have, I don't know if Ibeto is still building cement in our land. Because Ibeto cement and all that is there, people might turn to it. I don't know if they have called it back. So at the end of the day, when there is no much competition, that's why the businesses will do what they want, unregulated. They are not regulated. For a bag of cement to go to 9,000, it is a pity. A bag of cement going to 9,000. A cement that was, 3 years ago, 2,000. It went straight to 9,000. What a mess. 3 years ago, 2,000. Even amid COVID, it was, if it went up with 500. Amid COVID. Today is 9,000 after 3 years. After 2 years and 2.5 years. Under the regime of Buhari. All in the name of monetary policy. All in the name of where the Biafrans are consuming more. Let's impose more taxation into it. So that once we impose more taxation, they are taking more from you. It will discourage you to save that money, not invest it in building. So that you don't invest it in building. Maybe you save it, the money will get liquidated or will get, it will get devalued in your hands. The money you want to use to build because you are waiting for. So why? Who is benefiting from all this price hike? The government. The government and sometimes the companies, because this the capitalists, they are the ones benefiting. The capitalists and the government, because they plan this, because they know there is no much competitions. Once they plan it, they will implement it. The government and the capitalists share the profits. In the name of we are introducing a monetary policy, hiking the prices of everything, food. Importantly, cement that build home for people. Many countries in the world, the government give, shelter to many people. Build homes to many people. In many countries in the world. Even in Africa. Libya was giving house to people. Even South Africa is still giving house to people, I believe, to their citizens for free. But Nigeria, people that are building their own houses, they are now making it so difficult for them to access the most important stuff that is going to be used to build a house. They are going to now put the price so high so that people will no longer will no longer be thinking of building homes as the population expands, because they know that this is a high demand. Whether you put it high, people will still buy it, because building is actually very important to the people, especially to Igbo people. So because most of this tax that is going to be realized from this cement sale, it is going to come from Igbo people. So you don't know exactly how these people are, treating you. You don't know what they are doing to you, because you don't follow the algorithm. You don't know when they are implementing things that is targeting you in particular. That's exactly what they are doing. So when the cement price goes to 9,000, man, it's a disaster. It is a disaster. There is already so many unfinished buildings in our land. So this time around, it will be worse. Then you start saying that your forefathers, if Ndibo metal, Ndibo ada alucho no fa alucha, it is your old mother or your grandmother. There is a witch in this place. That's what you will be saying. They have bewitched you. That's why you cannot finish your house. You don't know what bewitched you. It is Nigeria that bewitched you. It is the government of the day that bewitched you. It's nobody. It is not your grandfather or your grandmother. Because that is what they will always make you to believe. Look at the next picture. Let's talk about Ned Nwoko. Ned Nwoko said, there is something Ned Nwoko said. I have seen the autopilot criminal syndicate using that thing to get approval in the name that it is attributed to them. I want to tell you exactly what Ned Nwoko said, because what we do here, it is coming to clear up atmosphere, coming to make our people to be aware or to be informed of what exactly is going on around them. Let me tell you what exactly Ned Nwoko said. He is a senator, Ned Nwoko, who said that you cannot fight. Let me try to find out. Let me extract the information so that I will be able to quote him verbatim in order to tell you exactly what is going on there. I hope I brought this together. I hope I brought it together. Just one moment. Let me try to bring it together. Let me try to bring it. I thought I copied the part of what Nwoko said. He said that there is no amount of pressure that will stop Biafra agitation. There is no amount of pressure that will stop Biafra agitation. Do you know that he said again that the government should come, call in and dialogue with the Biafrans? He said well, he has spoken well. The reason why I will say that he has spoken well, it is because he knows that there is no amount of pressure that will make Biafrans change their mind from what they know that they are fighting for. No amount of pressure whatsoever that will make the Biafrans change their mind. Now, let me tell you, if you think about it, these people that are making comment are, especially when we talk about Ned Nwoko, he is a senator. Do you know who are the senators in Nigeria? They are the lawmakers. Senators, they are the lawmakers. Now, when a lawmaker came to start making a statement, instead of being realistic, putting it out there as lawmakers, lobby with the fellow lawmakers and advise them on what is going to move a situation forward or change a situation. When they come out to start making a public statement, I have problem with it, me personally, because we do not expect those who supposed to be coming up with solution, enacting laws that is supposed to be in favor of a particular situation in order to solve a conundrum. So, when you have seen that the agitation in the eastern region of, the so-called Nigeria has become, a problem that there is nothing you will do to stop them, I believe that you people as lawmakers, you are in a position to actually implement laws and pass it to the executive to make sure it is gazetted, to find law that will force the government to negotiate with the agitators in a round table, to speak with the agitators in a round table, so that there will be a way forward. There will be a closure to all this quarrel and fighting, to all these, all these things, shenanigans, because it is your duty as a lawmaker. These are the reason why there are 2-3 arms of government independent to each other in Nigeria. It is because all of them will be, different from each other. There will be no excess of power. So in situation like that, there is a powerful man, but there is also dissemination of powers. The executive govern the state. The executive see to the affairs of the nation, represent the nation, or send a delegate if need be. While the legislature, they sit in the parliament and they will now discuss how they will make a laws or suggest a law that will enable the country to move forward. And when you look at these legislatures, the senators are part of the legislatures. I believe that that's why when a senator is actually on their own proposing something, it doesn't make sense to me. What I want the senators to do, if they indeed want to make the country to move forward, they go as a senators, as lawmakers, and sit down, find a solution to the problem. And if they cannot find a solution to the problem, knowing that this problem is affecting them directly or indirectly, those who refuse to join force to find a solution to the problem, you do what Wike, Governor Autumn, and which other governor? What they did, they call it G5 or G what? Ebonyi State governor did to PDP during the presidential election. They formed their own, group or block of group who will be advocating against the injustices of the executive towards the parliament, or the parliament not being able to come up with the truth, you become a bit rebellious, so that they will know that your voice must be heard. That is called, you start protesting inside the parliamentarian building, so that people will know there is this pressing situation that is that is even capable of putting your life in danger, that is capable of putting the people you love in danger. Let us solve it. Maybe when you start it, I believe there is no way your fellow senators will not see what you are talking about, even if they want to be lying about it, because they are, some of them were the governors in the various areas in Biafra land. So when you come and start suggesting, it doesn't make any difference. Believe you me, you did great. It is a good move. But I don't think we expect people who are in the position of power, people who make laws, will now come and start, suggesting to the public. I feel like it is hypocritical. I feel like, I didn't say it is, I feel like it is hypocritical, because in a situation whereby we are looking for something, we in a situation whereby you have seen something great, we should hear you, being an advocate for a change inside that, legislature house, inside that, red chamber. You keep on, lobbying it, because some of you will come and be making public statements, because just like, we say our people are so emotional, and you politicians have discovered the emotion of our people, and you guys are making use of this their emotion, and you are taking advantage of these people being emotional. And that is exactly the reason why any force that try to play with the minds of our people, they succumb to it, because they are emotional. So once somebody make a media statement, they become emotional, believing that it is all that glitters that are gold. It is like now, let me give you an example of what these people are doing. It is like now the president of a nation, just like Tinubu. It is just like Tinubu coming to tell us. If we can fight insecurity, if we can stop, how do I put this analogy? Tinubu coming to tell us right now that if we can, put up a law, that reforms our immigration, when Tinubu supposed to, be proposing it to the legislatures, that there must be a, immigration reform to curb the terror, the influx of these people, Fulanis from across the Sahel region. He will be complaining it. A president is not supposed to complain, because you put him there to do the needful. Then he's coming now to suggest. He doesn't need to suggest. He doesn't need to suggest it to you. He suggests it to the House of Assembly. He suggests it in the Parliament. And make sure that it is carried out, because he's still the president. Influence of the president makes it to be carried out by the legislatures. What makes a good president is to being able to, when they suggest something that is going to drive the country forward, even if the majority in parliament, because of political differences or political diversities, they don't want to implement it. That's when you influence people in the parliament, because you are a president. You put the rank of your presidents to influence people so that the law will be enacted, because when the regime is actually functional and functioning properly, it is you that is going to get that accolade. If it is not, if it is not functioning well, it is you that is going to get the critics or the criticism. So I don't believe that these lawmakers supposed to be coming to suggest to us or to say a public, these things in the public, space, so that we believe that these people are, trying to do something on our behalf. We want them to start discussing it in parliament. We want them to start suggesting it and speaking it to the parliament and lobbying about it, making sure that somehow it will be, acknowledged, and will, a resolution will come to it. That's exactly what we want them to do. Not to come and be complaining, or not to come and be suggesting to. Are you suggesting it to the public that you know that this public are still feeling the heat and the spikes of all these things? It is you people that are, maybe you're supposed to actually, make something happen. That is exactly what you guys represent. Now, we move to Hope Uzodimma. Hope Uzodimma, there is a video clip that we received today, and I have a problem here. My phone is dead. Let me collect a charger so that I will be able to get this phone on. Then I will play this video clip. Then if I am able to play this video clip.
They can't attack ESN. They can't. They have no moral ground. But I'm sure they gave money to some idiots and gave them guns to say they are Biafran army. I don't know if they're up to 6 or 7 of them, which is a lie. It's the DSS creation. So they can have justification to say to Biden or the US ambassador, can you see they now have Biafran army? We can now move in to attack them. Anybody, if you are involved in that video, take a walk. You want to give Fulani with the reason to invade our land. That's what you're doing. But we shall get to that later. Anybody involved in the circulation of that video is a gunner. I'm telling you the truth. And those that made it. That is how people behave, because they don't understand the game plan of the Fulani. People are very foolish. Fulani will come to you and want to use you, and you succumb because you have greed, envy, and jealousy inside you. Which one again is Biafran army? I'm asking you. From where? How many people? The day I will bring out the Biafran army, we number over 200,000 standing. Reserve is over 1 million. Some bunch of idiots somewhere, because you're serving your Fulani Janja masters. We'll get hold of all of you. Check out Uno. We know they're bad eggs when we see them. We warned people against voting for Buhari in 2015 when he was still alive. The same Buhari died in 2017. People, all of you know that Buhari is dead. Today he's young, tomorrow he's old. You see his hand is fresh today, tomorrow. Nobody knows who is who anymore. All of you are there because it's the turn of your village. Your brother is a senator. Your sister is a House of Reps member. You don't want to lose that money.
So, it is about Hope Uzodimma and Hope Uzodimma and Youth Empowerment Program. They talk about youth empowerment program. That's what that video was talking about. And in that video, it is where people who took part in the youth empowerment program that was, sponsored by Hope Uzodimma, or will I say, allegedly sponsored by Hope Uzodimma, because if you look at the so-called youth empowerment program, according to the information that we have, the youth empowerment program sounds like a scam. It sounds like a scam. And it was indeed it was indeed being promoted by Hope Uzodimma. So I'm trying to actually play that video. But I believe I have that video. Okay, this is it. Let me play the video. This music of that video, that music is going to be a problem. It's going to be problematic because these videos, these musics, they have copyright, especially when you are doing a live program like this. It has to always affect the live program. Music you cannot override. Maybe people's speech, you might be able to override it, but music is difficult to override. So what am I trying to say? It is that where people were talking, let me see if I will be able to show it. No, I will not play it because it came with the music. So I want you to know that these were people who took part in Hope Uzodimma's youth empowerment program. While they took part in Hope Uzodimma youth empowerment program, I think I have to show you the evidence. Let me show you the evidence to that video. Let me see what I can do. If Facebook may permit me and YouTube permit me to use this video, it has some element of music around it to analyze a situation. So let me bring that to you because it is important for you to hear it. Oh, that is a problem. It will not play, and it creates now error on my app. And if I click on this error, this broadcast is going to disappear. So let me just conclude. That voice is where Hope Uzodimma was actually telling people. Not telling people how Hope Uzodimma claim he is giving the youth their youth empowerment program by giving them some amount of money through financial institution, which is the bank, and the bank dish out these monies to these people. At the end of the day, they were not told that this money that is being given to them are going to have interest, that it is a loan given to them, that they will pay it back. And of course, Nigeria giving you loan. Most of the people knows exactly that the system where Nigeria used to give loans, they are giving it through collateral. Except if you have a business that is already running and making money. So it is still through collateral. So Hope Uzodinma went and get people involved, and people were giving this money. Today the banks are now enforcing for people to pay back this money with an interest. They are charging them an interest, towards that money that Hope Uzodinma lied to them to say it is youth empowerment program. And if it is youth empowerment program that is going to come through borrowing or through loans, there has to be an agreement, because most of the youth empowerment program that is being done, even in the United States, most of them are non-repayable loans. Some of them are non-repayable. So you ask yourself, which one did Hope Uzodinma did? Because they were testifying that they did not know that this money is going to be paid back. All of them went and assessed this funding. And at the end now, bank is now taking money from some of their bank accounts. Banks is now forcing them that they must pay this loan. You will be asking yourself, what exactly is that type of loan that people take without having an agreement or arrangement, or without doing a background check or due diligence on the people which are going to take this loan or which they are going to give these loans to? You'll be wondering what type of arrangement is that, to the extent that these people who are going to assess this loan does not know they are going to pay it back. So it means that if they do not know they are going to pay it back, that means the bank was giving random people these loans, knowing that they have a way to, take back this money from them, even the interest. So Hope Uzodinma went to the financial institution and they now made an arrangement to exploit the people. Because what I will call that is a reckless lending. And some of this reckless lending, you lend money to people, you don't know whether they are going to afford it. They did not come to you to say they want money. The government proposed it and tell these people that this is a youth empowerment program without telling them it is a loan that they are going to pay back. Now the financial institution is now policing them to pay back this money. What exactly is it that we are going to see this as? Is that not a scam? Is that not a theft under false pretense? So why is Hope Uzodinma taking people, getting people to be, in debt, unplanned debt, in the name that it is youth empowerment program? There is no campaign made. Even the financial institution that dished out the money, they're supposed to, have their own agreement with those who they are giving the money, since they are going through them to do this money. Because even if it is funds made available by the state government or federal government, the financial institutions need to do their own due diligence, because it was handed over to them, because they know exactly that their due diligence can be conducted because they are financial institution, they manage money. So in this regard, how could these people give people loans without letting them know it is a loan, only to charge them interest and start policing them to pay back these loans? That is criminal. All of these people who are actually feeling the impact of these things, or who were deceived by Hope Uzodinma, you should put yourselves together and go to human rights advocates, human rights lawyers. Put yourselves together. Buy one lawyer. One lawyer will, support all of you, and you go to court. You will deceive Hope Uzodinma. Those of you who have, the bank have, bullied you into taking this money by force, the bank will pay those money back to you, because it is actually, stealing from you. As long as they could not tell you are assessing a loan, they are giving you a loan. You cannot pay it back. Only if they told you that this is a loan, this is the agreement, you had agreement with them that they are giving you a loan, you will pay it within this time frame, within this time, and it will come with an interest. If it does not work like that, it is too good to be true. It is a lie. It is actually a fraud. They have defrauded you. So gather yourself together, mobilize, buy one lawyer. That lawyer will take you far. Believe you me, then you will know that bank Abrondo Daliwe Jenga, because of course, I forgot. Pardon me. I forgot that the judiciary is not working in Nigeria. I forgot that judiciary does not work in Nigeria. I was over exaggerating. Sorry. I know that the lawyers might be competent, but judiciary does not understand or appreciate their competence. So judiciary does not work in Nigeria. So pardon me. You people are on your own. Eventually, you are on your own. But if you can change yourself, your bank from that bank, that financial institution that is taking your money, just move your money from there. If they want, they should take you to court by themselves. You go and give your own testimony. That is the only way you will be able to get away from this mess that you have found yourself into. Otherwise, they have duped you. The state government of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, and the bank, whichever bank was that, they have stolen from you. Theft under false pretense. Do you know what it's going to be? The bank, if the bank want to actually be on the side of the financial institution, they will tell you to pay back that money without interest, because there is no, enough due diligence done in order to give you the loan. So that's it. But I know that something is, you can get something out of it because of, the dodgy way. It is too dodgy. The way they actually, people, according to the testimony I heard, it is too dodgy. The way this money were disbursed. So, it is very, very important that our people, don't forget, we talked about diphtheria, which is the sickness that is making wave in the northern Nigeria mostly. It is also now in Enugu. They say one case in Enugu, one case in somewhere. I know that it is one cases within the eastern region. So our people need to wake up and make sure they avoid this at all costs. We know that Facebook and their cohort, they continue to suppress what we are doing, but that's by the way. It is okay. We must continue. We cannot relent. But what is very, very important is for our people to understand that diphtheria is a life-threatening bacteria or life-threatening illness. It stays in the airways, which is, it can block you from breathing, then it can suffocate you somehow. So, and the fatality rate is high. 453 people have died from that. It is children that this is actually targeted at. So that is the reason why we are calling on this, parents. We are calling on the caregivers in Nigeria to make sure that they are, they keep clean their environment, because most of the things that transport this bacteria, it is, maybe insect, I don't know. The cockroach, I know cockroach transmit typhoid. There are other insects that will be able to, transport this bacteria. So it's just to keep your hygiene to the maximum level. Your hygiene to be the maximum level. So know where your toddlers are crawling to, and know whom you are getting in contact with. I believe sanitization will also help in this type of situation, especially when a child is always putting their hands in their mouth after meeting, touching places. So I believe there are something that you could do to prevent you or prevent your child, because it is only against the children. They say there is also a vaccine for that. There is also a vaccine for that that they give the children from the hospital. But this thing is so much in the north, in the northern Nigeria, because of the atrocities their people are committing against them as well. Because these people, charity begins from home. If they cannot fix their home, how do you think they will fix your own home? That is exactly the way it is. That is why it is important that Nigeria is, divided. Let those who are in the position, who always sit on the position of power, who does not like to bring, development into that place. Let them go and be on their own. If they want, they should allow their houses to be rotten. That is their problem. We want to develop our lives. We want to develop ourselves. And that is the reason why we want to help Africa to develop. And we can only do it as free people. We cannot do it as people who are under captivity of Nigeria. We cannot move. We cannot do things freely. We cannot even enjoy our freedom of speech and freedom of association. We will be killed. And we cannot even exercise our franchise through voting, because at the end of the day, that vote does not count. So we are tired of it. We are very, very tired of it. And this thing is now a problem in Africa. You see, there is also a picture of Paul Kagame there. Paul Kagame is a president of Rwanda. He's a president of Rwanda. He wants to go back to become the president of Rwanda again. He is going to the third term. So, and apparently he used his son to make the army commander or military chief. So I don't know. He used his son. He placed his son in that significant position. So, but that is what we call nepotism. Nepotism. Because even if there is a law that enable the son to merit that position of leadership, if there is a law that they have enacted to that will enable the son to come into such space, that law is fraudulent. You know why it should be fraudulent? Because it cannot be one family that will be in a significant position of a nation. It does not actually show a sign of division of labor. It does not show a sign of division of labor, because you place your children in a significant position where people are respected, where people are getting more pay. You are the head of state, you are getting more pay, and you are free. You can do what you want. Allow people to get in some significant position where they are going to also have a little bit of financial freedom, or they will be able to elevate their own family. It is not all about your own family. That is the problem we have in Africa. Nepotism within and around these leaders. Even if that son merit to be in that position, there are other people who merit that position apart from your son. You as a president, you are already representing your family in that position where you are. So why are Africans being so power happy, power intoxicated? When they climb, they don't want to go down. So we are actually trying to, we are still waiting for the people of Rwanda to tell us how they feel. But we will, keep on following that news for them to tell us how they feel, so that we will understand what we need to talk about it. Because anybody who want to, fight for their own freedom, we will also, speak on their behalf, because we are freedom fighters and we want Africa to be a great continent. We want to remove every European hegemony across African continent. It is not only us Biafrans, because what we know that Nigeria is the biggest country in Africa, which the colonial master are actually dealing with. Colonial master. Britain is colonial master. They are the king of colonialism. So that's why when they are dealing with Africa, if you can solve Britain in Africa, you have solved Portuguese, you have solved French, you have solved Belgium, you have solved even to the extent of Spain. You have solved many of them. If you can solve Britain and the hands of Africa, that's what the result is going to be. I think I am going to leave it here. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a prisoner of conscience, and the Federal High Court was set ablaze. Federal High Court was set ablaze, And according to the last news that I came across, he said it never affect the election stuff, election tribunal court, or whatever. So we are still waiting to know if it is another, not federal high court, rather I think, is it federal high court or supreme court? Please remind me on that comment section if you are there. Is it federal high court or supreme court that got set ablaze? My phone, let me find out. I believe it is federal. Is it federal or supreme court? I think supreme court. Yes, supreme court was set ablaze. The last information I got is that it never affected. Okay, Supreme Court, thank you very much on your call. It is Supreme Court, and it never affected the election materials or anything. That's what I heard from them. But let me also try to read that news, because I don't know if I read it completely or I just go through the headlines. Because most of the time, being busy doing a lot and planning for program, you just read the headlines and see if it is indeed what you want. Then you come back to it. They talk about there is also an interesting story where a video of a chairman. Let me show you. Okay, no, let me not. We will talk about this tomorrow. We will talk about this tomorrow. Let me finish what I am saying. I just found interesting story. All right, let me read and see. Let's find out exactly what is going on here. What the fire did. Nigeria Supreme Court fire incident didn't affect the presidential election petition material. Spokesman. The Supreme Court has assured Nigeria that the fire outbreak that occurred at the Apex Court building on Monday morning did not affect the material or anything connected with presidential anything connected with the presidential election petition. So what did it affect? The public relations officer of the Supreme Court, Festus Akande, who gave the assurance during an interview on Arise TV shortly after the fire incident, said that the fire outbreak occurred in one chamber of the court and affected the library, computer gadgets, and other equipment. Wow. Sahara Reporter earlier reported that a section of the Apex Court building at the Three Arms Zone in Abuja was on fire, and that it was gathered that the offices of some justices were affected by the fire incident. However, speaking on Arise Show program monitored by Sahara Reporter, the Supreme Court spokesperson said, actually there was a fire incident in the Supreme Court this morning, and it affected just one chamber, contrary to the information being peddled on social media. The Supreme Court was not and is not under invasion from hoodlums or any miscreant. It was just a result of maybe an electrical malfunction or so. That was the result of the preliminary investigation we have carried out so far. So the Supreme Court gutted into fire, or gutted by fire. And they say it never affected the election material because the reason why immediately when the fire started, people went on social media, people started saying, have you now seen the reason why information and the media you control as people is very, very important? Because people went to social media, that's why it never affected the election tribunal stuff. That's why. Now, let us now think about what they are going to use this to their advantage. How they are going to use this fire to their advantage, because I know that this fire is a well orchestrated plan. They are going to use it to their advantage to delay the cases that are in Supreme Court. That is exactly what they are going to use it for. To delay some cases in the Supreme Court. And we are waiting to see how, on which case they are going to delay further in the Supreme Court. I don't want to be specific about what they are planning. I don't want to tell the world that they are going to be delaying the case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, because they have started, their delay strategies, but we are going to follow it and monitor it closely to see why did they set this, Supreme Court, one chamber in Supreme Court, ablaze. And since they said it is one chamber that was gutted by fire, let us see if this one chamber is going to now delay the court proceedings of some certain cases that are sitting in the Supreme Court. Because we know all they are looking for, it is to find a way to delay people's justice. That is known, we all know that justice delayed is justice denied. And that's exactly what they are doing. This is where I am going to leave it. You meditate and think about it. Until we meet again, tell me your own thoughts in that comment section. We're going to come again tomorrow. We don't care about Facebook and their suppression, or YouTube and their suppression. We will continue. One day they will forget their suppression, they will open it, and our people will hear us. That is the way it is. Until we meet again, stay safe. And don't forget to protect your peace. Don't be deceived. Don't be deceived by the activities of the enemies and what they are peddling around social media to make sure they redirect the narrative. Don't be deceived. It is all about money. They are career agitators. They will lie to you from morning till tomorrow to make sure that they extort money from you. That's what they do. And that's what they will continue to do, because you are emotional, you are not rational.